upon a time, in a land where the golden sun kissed the blue horizon and the air carried the sweet scent of earth and sky, there lived a man named Yunus. Prophet Yunus, as he was known, was an extraordinary person. God had chosen him to guide the people of a small, beautiful town near the sea. But the people of Yunus's town? Oh, they were a stubborn bunch. They were full of pride and often ignored Yunus's kind and wise advice. You see, Prophet Yunus cared deeply for the people of his town. Day after day, he would remind them to turn to God, who had created the mountains and rivers and the breath in their lungs. But no matter how patient he was, or how beautifully he explained it, the people would just shake their heads and laugh. They didn't want to listen. One day, after years of trying, Prophet Yunus felt a heaviness in his heart. He thought, why do they refuse to listen? No matter what I say, they choose to stay in their wrong ways. With a heavy heart, Yunus decided to leave the town. Without waiting for God's command, he walked away from the people, believing that his mission with them was over. Jonah traveled to the coast and boarded a ship. The wind blew through his hair as the ship rocked gently on the calm, sparkling sea. He thought he was headed to distant lands to find peace, but he did not know that a great test awaited him. As the ship sailed away from land, the mood suddenly changed. Heavy dark clouds rolled in, covering the sun. The waves, once soft as a silken blanket, rose like towering walls of silver and white foam. The wind screamed through the ship's ropes, and rain fell like tiny needles from the sky. The sea grew angry, and the sailors on board were terrified. "It's a storm," they cried. "A terrible storm. The ship will sink." The sailors, who were superstitious, began to wonder if someone on board had brought this disaster upon them. They decided to draw lots, a game of chance, to see who it could be. When they drew lots, the name Yunus appeared. The sailors turned to Yunus, their wide eyes filled with fear. "What have you done?" they asked. "Why has this storm found us?" Yunus remained silent for a moment. Deep down, he knew that this storm was no ordinary storm. It was from God, meant to remind him of his mission and the people he had left behind. He looked at the frightened sailors and said, "The storm is because of me. Throw me into the sea and the storm will subside." The sailors hesitated. Prophet Yunus was no ordinary passenger. They did not want to hurt him, but the storm was getting fiercer and fiercer, and they had no choice. With heavy hearts, they lifted Yunus up and lowered him gently over the side of the ship. The moment Yunus reached the cool, choppy waters, the storm stopped. The sea was calm again, and the clouds began to part, allowing the sun's rays to shine on the gentle waves. But Yunus was not alone in the vast, endless sea. Below the deep blue waters, in the dark waters where the sunlight barely reached, was swimming a creature unlike any other. A giant whale. Its mouth was so wide that it could swallow a house. And that's exactly what it did. It swallowed Prophet Yunus whole. In the belly of the whale, it was pitch black, so dark that Yunus could not tell whether his eyes were open or closed. The smell was heavy and salty, and the only sound was the slow, steady breathing of the giant whale. He sat down. There Yunus was, all alone, far beneath the surface of the sea. At first he felt sad and afraid, but soon he realized something very important. God was with him, even in the belly of the whale. Yunus's heart was filled with repentance. Yunus realized that leaving his people without God's command was wrong. So, in that pitch-black belly, in the depths of the ocean, the prophet Yunus turned to God with all his heart. He began to pray, whispering words that would echo through time itself. "There is no God but you, glory be to you. I have been among the wrongdoers." That is, there is no God but you, glory be to you. I have been among the wrongdoers. Yunus repeated this beautiful prayer over and over, tears streaming down his face, thankful for God's mercy, even in this strange and difficult moment. The merciful God heard Yunus's sincere prayer. The great whale swam to the surface, carrying Yunus in its huge belly. Then, with the kindness of a mother, it opened its mouth and spat Yunus out onto a quiet, empty shore. The sand was warm, and the sun's rays were soft on Yunus's skin. After his days in the cold, dark belly of the whale, Yunus felt a deep sense of gratitude fill his heart. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no, Yunus had another mission. A mission! He realized that God had given him a second chance, and he had to return to his people. Refreshed and filled with a new purpose, Yunus returned home. Eunice's heart was light, knowing he was returning with a renewed spirit and a mission to guide his people once more.